What's up guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about my top 5 non-licensed chapters I'd like to see come to Dead by Daylight during its 6th-year anniversary. Non-licensed meaning that it's Dead by Daylight's own creation and not from a TV show, movie, game, etc. With recent leaks and rumors of the next chapter being non-licensed, I felt like it would be a really fun idea to explore. So to start this off, I have a giant monster related chapter in my 5th spot. This could be really anything, a giant mutant, creature, it would all be cool. But what I'm gonna be more specifically referring to is a giant spider due to recent rumors going around that this could be a big possibility. So the story behind this could be that a science experiment went wrong, creating a genetically mutated spider that grows at an exponential rate, which broke free from being held captive and escaped to the public, killing anyone in its way. The look of the killer would be something of a large spider, and I think this would look terrifying. The power could be that it webs survivors. Maybe it slows them down and the survivors have to actively get rid of the spider webs, or else the map would be covered in them. Who knows, maybe this creature could also have a lunge attack of sort, like the Demogorgon, except it could injure multiple survivors at once due to the spider's large size. The main attack would be a bite or a swat. I could see the map being set at some science laboratory. It would be covered in webs and looking terrifying. It could possibly bring back the feel of Hawkins even. The survivor could be some sort of spider enthusiast, or maybe even one of the lab members. This chapter would be a really cool addition to DBD, seeing as the Demogorgon is the only real non-humanoid creature in the game. Next up on this list, I have a Wendigo chapter. So Wendigo is a mythical creature or evil spirit which has human characteristics. These things are pretty terrifying. I could see the story behind this one being that a man gets stranded on a snowy mountain with his friends and eventually goes insane from hunger and murders them all. Afterwards, he eats their dead bodies and then becomes possessed into a Wendigo that roams the snowy mountains, tearing visitors apart and eating them. Yeah, that's some fucked up shit, but that would be a pretty scary concept. I would want the powers to be that the creature can go into stealth, then mimic sounds such as an injured survivor grunting, or even a generator being repaired. This is all just to lure the survivor towards you. I mean, that alone would be horrific. A second power could be that the Wendigo gets on all fours and runs at top speed. A map for this would be the Snowy Mountain, and I think it could differ from Orman because it would be much more dark and woodsy. And instead of a building, it could have a Wendigo's cave. For a survivor, the person could be a mountain hiker. I really like the idea of this chapter because the mimicking would add a new fear to Dead by Daylight, and Wendigos look badass. In my 3rd spot on this list, I have a Halloween themed chapter. This could be any classic Halloween icon such as a vampire, grim reaper, pumpkin creature, scarecrow, zombie, or werewolf. But it would be made into a Dead by Daylight original chapter. I'm gonna go with the pumpkin creature because I feel like that would really bring the Halloween feel to Dead by Daylight, but I would honestly be happy if any of those icons came to the game. Yeah, the anniversary event isn't a Halloween event, but I still think this would be incredibly nice to have, and everyone would definitely use this around Halloween time. Anyways, the pumpkin creature would be a Halloween folktale that a pumpkin head comes out every Hallows Eve, or comes out if you stumble upon his pumpkin patch. And yeah, he just murders everyone he sees or some shit. I don't know, but they could do something interesting with that idea. The look of this would have to be a humanoid creature with a pumpkin for a head, with moss and a dark cloth around his body. The power could be something like there's pumpkins all around the map, and the killer could grow into any of them and come out of the ground. The map would obviously be a pumpkin patch or field. It would be really creepy with a full moon out and ambience lighting. The survivor would also have to be Halloween related maybe, or even just a pumpkin patch farmer or gravedigger. If they don't do this for the anniversary event, then they'd need to do it for the Halloween event because I think this would be really nice to have for Halloween. Next up on this list, I have a Hell Demon oriented chapter. And for the killer, they gotta have a really scary looking demon from hell or something. I know that we already have the Oni, who is pretty much a demon in Japanese folklore, but I'm talking about a more traditional hell demon. So yeah, the story could be that a demonologist or Satan worshipper accidentally or purposefully opened a portal to hell, and from that came this horrific looking demon that wreaks havoc on everybody. I mean, whatever the story is, I will just appreciate that we have a goddamn demon in the game. Talk about the horror aspect in Dead by Daylight. Anyways, the power could be some rip and tear mode where the killer enters a legion-like ability, slashing every player at top speed with its claws. Maybe once the demon hits around 10 people while in Rip and Tear mode, it will then have the option to enter Hell Unleashed mode, where the killer could lunge to insta-down survivors. The demon could also have the option of Mori survivors when it gets to an extremely high amount of Rip and Tear slashes. The map could either be some area in Hell, or a creepy church-related area where the demon was released. The survivor would either be a demonologist or a Satanist, and yeah, this would be a pretty terrifying chapter, so I hope to see something like this come to Dead by Daylight. Now, my top spot on this list, coming in at my first place, I have occultist-related DLC. So the backstory about this one could be about the Black Veil, which is a cult that worships a serpent made from dark mist with 9 heads and 9 tails. They're also called the Black Serpent Society and the VAC label. I mean, these guys are literally in the lore, so this is a big possibility that they can come to Dead by Daylight. Anyways, there isn't a whole lot known about these guys, so I'm just going to speculate on most things. But what we do know is that they wear long, black hooded robes. I mean, this sounds pretty badass to me. For the power, I would want to see multiple cult members. So my idea with this would be that the cultist's special ability would be to curse a survivor. Once a survivor gets cursed, they start hearing a distinct terror radius and eventually see multiple cultists with dark robes walking around. I mean, it would probably take the survivor being really badly cursed before they start seeing the other cultists walking around with their own terror radiuses. That could be a really strong power because the survivors wouldn't know which one is the killer and which one isn't. It also ties into the whole cult idea. For the map, I'm thinking of a really old clock tower or church with ambient sounds. It would be very creepy. The survivor could be some kind of investigator, I'm not sure, but I do know that this would be one of the greatest original creations from Dead by Daylight. Anyways, whatever DBD brings us in the anniversary event, I know it'll be awesome. Let me know of a chapter concept you thought of down in the comments, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure to check out the channel and subscribe because I will definitely have more content like this in the future. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.